can vary. You get hot meals and sometimes just the same rations. But you learn that with some hot sauce, you can eat just about anything. And I loved in one of the things I like to think about from Vietnam. I don't think the weather was good or bad, but I was over there the whole year of 1968. In America, a lot of things went on in 1968. Robert Kennedy got shot, Martin Luther King got shot, there were riots, there were a lot of political actions going on. I don't remember anything of it, none of it, because I didn't pay attention to the news. And when I got back, I just kind of forgot about everything. And now as I go on and I hear things that happened in 1968, it's like, I'm learning about it all over again. But thank you.
Hello, my name is John Morris. I'm about to tell you the worst mistake I ever made in my life. I had to join the Army to avoid being drafted. Now let that sit for me. What's it like to be drafted? Imagine you're 18 years old and your government can say to you, you're in the service, come with me for the next 2 years. And I thought to myself, is that what I want? Not really. I think I better have more control over my life. I think I'll join the Army. Again, biggest mistake I ever made in my life. No, not getting married. That's the best mistake you can make in your life. I joined what was called then the United States Army Security Agency. And I was told about how special I was because I had scored high in the test. I was told all the things a recruiter tells any recruit to get them to sign the papers. By golly, I went up for 4 years. After I finished basic training at Fort Dix, they sent me to Fort Walters, Massachusetts, and I thought I was in heaven. It looked like a college campus. Next thing I know, I'm out in the field at this college campus, where there is nothing like a building or bathroom or anything else, living as a grunt. I thought, something went wrong. We got the wrong guy. Well, no, I was in training to go to Vietnam. They did train me. My entire unit went by ship, just like Barry's. How long did it take? 18 days, something like that? 20-some days. It's no cruise. Got to Vietnam. Barry talked about those landing boats. Well, I had the one where the front goes down like this. And the guys come running out. The next thing you think you're supposed to do is hit the sand because there's going to be people shooting at you. And I thought, what did I get myself into? Well, the landing thing went down. I looked out, and there was a major standing there with a camera taking pictures. He said, "Hey, this Vietnam is not so tough." Again, I was wrong. They loaded us up a few days later, and they sent us to a town called Tay Ninh, where 196 Light Infantry Brigade was stationed. They took us to an open field, and he said, "Welcome to your company area." We looked around, and we said, "Where are the buildings?" They say, "That's why you're here. You're here to build your own buildings." We went to work. 2-3 weeks later, we're all done building the buildings. Remember, we are a communications company. We're not communicating anything to anybody. We're over there filling sandbags, nailing in nails, putting up timber, all sorts of things we weren't trained to do. However, I didn't mind it because I knew the worst things could happen to you while you're in Vietnam. Finally, we get done. My staff sergeant, Richard E. Myers, took me aside and said, "You're being transferred." Major Hines, where are you? 21? To the 25th Infantry down in Chi. He stayed with 25th. Anybody else here serve with 25th? Thank you. All right. I got down there by by Jeep. As soon as I landed there, the guy said, "Don't even bother to take your bag into the barracks. You're going out to the field." I thought, welcome to the Nam. Threw my bag in another Jeep, off we go. Went to a town called Ben Luck. Ben Luck was this little burn where they had ox carts going up and down, but it was a town nonetheless. And I stayed there for about 4 months. I was part of a 2-man communications team. It was our job to take messages from the big guys and hand them off to the middle level guys. That was was our job. And we had to be up and running communications 24 hours a day. Now, I did the math earlier. It's 24 hours a day and there's 2 guys. That means I worked at least 12 hours a day. We didn't get to sleep. Often we slept inside the radio hut, but we slept nonetheless. If somebody had to go somewhere, like back to the base camp, or who knows whatever else they had to do, maybe sick call or something, you got the job all by yourself 24 hours a day. They brought the food to you because you couldn't leave the bunker. That was the good news. The good news was you can't leave the bunker. So I didn't have to do guard duty anymore. I didn't have to do anything else that would require it. And my nemesis was filling sandbags. It seemed like I must have filled 1 million sandbags while I was in Vietnam. It's what happens to you when you don't achieve rank of sergeant. The life of a enlisted man can be very hard, very tiring. After a while, Vietnam sort of just has its own little rhythm to it. For us, we worked 12-hour days. We went back to the base camp for a few weeks, back out into the field, more 12-hour days, back to the base camp. I made another mistake. I said, sir, I'd like to go back into the field. I don't like it here at the base camp. Anybody who's ever spent time in the Army will tell you, never tell them you don't like something. They'll give it to you more. And that's what happened to me. They stuck me there for the remainder of my tour in Vietnam. Finally, when the day came, I got my orders for going home. What we had to do is be debriefed. Now, debriefing means they sit you in a room and they tell you what you can say, what you can say, and they ask you what you think you know. After that glorious 2 hours are up, pack your bags, back off to America. This is the first time I saw an airplane that was going to take me back somewhere. No more ships for me. Came back to America, found myself stationed in Fort Walters, Texas, where they train the helicopter pilots, not bad duty. And I spent the rest of that time, now I've been in now 2 years. I've got 2 more years to go. And they keep bouncing me around. I made quite a bit of rank while I was in the Army. I went from DFC to Spec 4, Team 4 rank. About 2 or 3 months later, I went back to PFC. Then I behaved myself long enough to make Spec 4 again, and so forth. So I never really became a good soldier. I often tell my friends I'm a better veteran than I ever was a soldier. That makes me proud. They've heard it before too, and they still laugh. They're my friends. That's my story. If you ever want to have an idea of what I did over there, get the movie Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams. No, I wasn't a radio guy. Remember, there were 2 guys in there that dressed exactly alike. He called them the Smith brothers. They sat at the desk. There was this big metal typewriter in front of them. We called it a mill. And he just cranked out a message all the time. Teletype came out with little holes in it. It printed out a message like that. You rip it off, you hand it to somebody. Imagine doing that for 12 hours. That was the Army for me. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, my name is Kevin Cianfrani. I'm a senior here, health and physical education major. I spent 3 years in the United States Army in an airborne infantry unit. When I was 17, I joined the Army. I'm a Bucks County native. I went right to Fort Benning, Georgia. We go to infantry school, and I went to airborne school right afterwards. Got stationed in Alaska, based on Fort Richardson. In 2006, we deployed to southeast Baghdad during a surge. We went to Kuwait first for about a month to acclimatize with the weather. Once we got in country, we got placed to a place called Falcon. It was a little smaller than a big fort. It's a smaller base called Fort Operating Base. And then we built a patrol base outside our main base where we did operations out of. Our main task over there was reconnaissance and surveillance and target acquisition. We did a lot of foot patrols, a lot of mounted patrols. A lot of mounted patrols is driving Humvees or whatever vehicle you're in, but we're getting hit with so many IEDs at a time, which is a roadside bomb, if you ever heard the term, that we pretty much went to the foot for the most part. Did a lot of air assaults with the 82nd Airborne. You ever heard of them? They were kind of attached to us.